Let's pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and those whose interest you've committed to our charge. Amen. Clerk, read the order of business today.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
I have 2 communications to make. First, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this morning of visitors from UN, United Nations, and a media team from KTN. And also, I think this last week and this week, as Honorable House, we are still mourning the loss of our former colleague who was a former MCA, and as per the request, I would like to give 1 or 2 honorable members to give a word of condolences to our colleague who passed on. The floor is open. Honorable Hezron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity you have granted me, Madam Speaker, so that I can pass sincere condolence for the loss of our leader, a colleague, and former chair, Lands Committee in this Honorable House, former member of Assembly Service Board, Honorable Bernard Mutai, Elias Affair, who was the member of County Assembly representing Kipchumchim Ward. Mr. Speaker, it is with deep sorrow this morning, Mr. Speaker, that we lose Kalangai, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker. Honorable member whom we lost, Madam Speaker, was a devoted honorable member. He worked diligently, Madam Speaker. And for those honorable members whom we interacted and served with him, Madam Speaker, he was a great definition of a servant leader, Madam Speaker. He used to take his work seriously, and he used to work with military precision. Among the achievements, Madam Speaker, he achieved during his tenure, Madam Speaker, is that first of all, Madam Speaker, he was among the first members or the pioneers of the County Assembly, Madam Speaker, being elected the first MCA of Kipchumchim Ward, Madam Speaker. And what before I was elected, Madam Speaker, because I was elected in 2017, Madam Speaker, together with my predecessor, Madam Speaker, Honorable Bernard Mutai used to be a street's name, Madam Speaker, because of marvelous work he did in his ward. And Honorable Philip Mutai can attest that he pioneered the infrastructural development in his ward. I used to admire working in County Assembly, Madam Speaker, because there was a pastor who used to pastor in my area, and he was a resident of Kipchimchim, specifically PHE Church. He used to tell us, Madam Speaker, because by then the road network in my place was pathetic. So he used to tell us during sermon that God will help you one day so that you are like leaders like my MCA, who has opened the entire road work in Kipchimchim Ward. And he has opened, and he used to categorize the roads that he opened until the RAS roads, Madam Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, when we came, Mr. Speaker, and worked with him, I attested that he was a servant leader. Among other achievements, Madam Speaker, is that because he was the chair lands housing and fiscal planning, he was the first among he was the chairman who promulgated the first special plan for Kericho County. The special plan is a roadmap, Madam Speaker, which has enabled the county to achieve a lot. Without special planning, Madam Speaker, we couldn't have municipal boards, Mr. Speaker, municipalities. So the brain behind the Litein and Kericho municipality is one Honorable Bernard Mutai, the deceased, Madam Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the valuation role, which we are proud of now, Madam Speaker, whom when we fully implement, it will be a tool which will assist us to collect more than 1.2 billion as a tool for revenue collection, because he, together with his colleagues in the committee and the executive, they come up with a valuation role. Although we have some small teething problem facing the valuation role, Madam Speaker, because there are those crapulous businessmen who are not comfortable with the challenge in court, but in due course, Madam Speaker, that statement will come to an end, and the valuation role will be a tool which will be using in ensuring that we optimize the collection of revenue, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, while he was serving as a member of Assembly Service Board, there was a streamlining in the HR mark, Madam Speaker, whereby most of the employees of the Assembly, Mr. Speaker, was put to work according to their profession. And there was, Madam Speaker, appraisal to most of the workers in this county assembly. And that is why when you critically analyze, we achieved a lot in the second assembly, Madam Speaker, because of the contribution of one Honorable Bernard Mutai, Mr. Speaker. As we are preparing to lay him down, Madam Speaker, the circumstances around his death is an ambiguous thing, Madam Speaker. But yesterday, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the administration of the Assembly and colleagues for joining the first, second, and third Assembly in passing a condolence message to the family, Madam Speaker. And it is an eye-opener, Madam Speaker, that even the strongest man or the strongest people, Madam Speaker, sometimes they have their own weakness. So it is an eye-opener again, Madam Speaker, that we need to be consulting and to be opening up as honorable members. Because, Madam Speaker, when we went to meet with our electorates, some of the electorate see us as supreme. Before God, after God, it is us. Because electors seek intervention from God, and when after God, they seek intervention from leaders. So sometimes the honor we have been given, Madam Speaker, can deceive us and make us to forget that we have life after politics or after leadership. So we are weak creatures, and we need to be consulting and to be brothers and sisters keepers all the time. And when we are confronted with any eventuality, we need to speak up and open up and share, because wise men once say, problem shared is problem half solved. So we need to be sharing whatever we are going through, so that at least we can help each other. But and again, we realize that the issue of mental health is not only affecting, is common because of the circumstances surrounding the human being, Madam Speaker. So mental health is another monster which we should fight as collectively, because mental health can affect anyone irrespective of the status and wherever you are. So Madam Speaker, as we are preparing to lay down, Madam Speaker, we want to join Honorable Member of Kipchumba Ward in passing sincere condolences, and may the soul of our departed hero rest in perfect eternal peace. Otherwise, I end there, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Hezron. I'll give priority to Honorable Mutai. All right, you can come up. Then we have, since he's the host, he can be the last person to speak. Welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, so that I may also condole the passing on of our brother Bernard Mutai. Honorable Speaker, Madam, allow me also to join my colleagues to give my sincere, heartfelt condolence to the family of Honorable Bernard Mutai, and also my brother, Honorable Philip, and the entire residents of Kipchumba and Kericho County as a whole. Honorable Speaker, sir, I know it is a big loss to the family and also to the residents of Kipchumba and the entire Kericho County for the passing on of Honorable Bernard Mutai. It is very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate to have lost such a person. In fact, my brother from Chilchila has enumerated several successes of Honorable Bernard Mutai as a leader. And I want to attest to that surely Bernard Mutai was one of those few leaders who were able to do or to deliver what was expected of him as a leader. In fact, one strong indication that shows that Philip Mutai was one of such leaders is that he was able to be elected twice consecutively as member of County Assembly of Kipchumba. So I want to say, as leaders of Kericho, in solidarity, we are praying for the family. And in kind, we will again support the family, so that at the end of the day, Philip Mutai can be given a respectful burial on 21st. That will be on Wednesday. So, Honorable Madam Speaker, let me rest my case there, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Harun Rotich.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, on behalf of the great people of Seretut, Chapter Oriet, where I represent, and on behalf of the people, great people of Kericho, I want to convey my sincere condolence, Madam Speaker, to the great people of Kipchimjim, and particularly the family of our late brother, Honorable Savea. Madam Speaker, I remember very well having served with him in the last parliament. Madam Speaker, he was our able chair, and which I served. I believe I'm the only member who actually managed to come back into the third assembly, and particularly for members who served with him in the lands committee, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the things that has been touched by our able chairman, current chairman, that is Honorable Hezron, is very explicitly clear, Madam Speaker, because I remember very well having served with him as his member, and he was our chairman, Madam Speaker. We went far and wide, Madam Speaker, because if I can remember very well, when we sat as a committee, Madam Speaker, he pushed us where we did what we call special plan, being led by him particularly. Madam Speaker, I remember he used to push us up to late hours, Madam Speaker, and remember every weekend at times he would call us, particularly to go through, because that was a voluminous document, Madam Speaker, because I remember this special plan cuts across all the way from Bureti, cuts across all Sigawet, it cuts across all our county, and again it went ahead and categorized on what rates should actually be charged in each and every respective place and every sub-county, Madam Speaker. That was a very serious document. We had also to, after approving all those areas, depending on probably what they are producing. In fact, that document again, Madam Speaker, provided each and every location with actually any other product that they are planted, probably cash crop, or any other crops that are planted. It touched up to cows, up to everything. That was a very serious document, Madam Speaker. And I want to admit that he was a very serious man. I remember again, we came back again and we made, Madam Speaker, the what we call municipalities. I think in 2019, if I can remember very well, we again came back making what we call the term municipality. And there was actually a lot of amendments up and down made by the Parliament, National Assembly, Madam Speaker. And therefore, we had to come back again, resit, and probably do it once again. And I remember he was a very straightforward person. Madam Speaker, I can attest he was equal to task. Because in one way or another, he was a profession. He did what we call geospatial engineering. So therefore, he was fit for the job because that was partly surveying. Lastly, Madam Speaker, like has been mentioned by a lot of honorable members here, I want to also, as I convey my condolence on behalf of my good people of Seretut, I want to say sincerely, convey again condolence to the great people of Kipchimjim, where the current MCA is Honorable Mutai. Is it Mutai again? Honorable Mutai. So I want to say we really condone with you, and I want to confirm to you that we will be there, irrespective of anything, because once a member, always a member. So with those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I want to say we stand in solidarity to mourn our good brother Savea. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Harun. Before we close out with Honorable Philip, I'd like to give this chance to Honorable Fancy, Deputy Majority Whip.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance. And before, let me welcome the UN team to this honorable house. Welcome to Kericho County. This is a house of rules and procedure. And I'm Fancy Korir, Chep Korir, nominated member for gender top-up, and I represent the good women of Kericho County. So welcome. And let me take this opportunity to give a word of condolence to the family of Honorable Mutai. I knew Honorable Mutai through the special planning. He was a good father. He was a very responsible person, and that is why he was elected twice in his Kipchimchim ward. So he was very responsible person. And as I said yesterday, that now we need to have the gender bill in this Kericho County so that it will help all of us. And when I talk of gender bill, it does not mean that it will help the women alone. And I've told this honorable house several times that now when we pass the gender bill, it will also have a place for men to share even the welfare of their families, to share something they have, to guide, to counsel one another. And I also said the county assembly to have a counselor so that the counselor will be counseling us. Apart from doing this member of county assembly job, what other thing do we do to our families? Any growth in your family? So I still suggest that the county government of Kericho County to have that gender bill so that it will help all of us, the women, the men, the youth, the PWDs, the widowers, and they'll have something small to their families. So, Madam Speaker, I still request that we really need to push for this gender bill so that it will help all of us with our children. Madam Speaker, it will also address the issues of gender-based violence, abuse of the minors, defilement cases, teenage pregnancies in Kericho County is so alarming. Those are the things which we really need to push so that it will help us to improve even the work we are doing in Kericho County. Madam Speaker, sir, Madam Speaker, thank you so much for giving me this chance, and member from Kipchimchim also, we give you our word of condolence to all Kipchimchim residents and your family. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Fancy. Would like to give this opportunity to Honorable Mutai Philip to also give his condolences.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, and by extension, the great people of Kipchimchim. Madam Speaker, I just want to sincerely thank you and this honorable house for creating time to mourn with the great people of Kipchimchim. Madam Speaker, I just want to join my colleagues in mourning one of the greatest sons of Kipchimchim ward, that is my predecessor, Honorable Bernard Kipkorir Mutai, alias Savea, whom the great people of Kipchimchim accorded him 2 terms, that is 2013 to 2017, 2017 to 2022. And I think, Madam Speaker, the late Savea served the great people of Kipchimchim with a lot of distinctions. He set the records in terms of development straight, which the standard that he left behind is admirable. And I think it's my prayer to God that I follow suit in delivering the records that he really worked for the people of Kipchimchim. Secondly, Madam Speaker, is that I just want to urge my colleagues to not tire in joining me in preparation for the befitting send-off of one of the greatest sons of Kipchimchim. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I just want to sincerely thank my colleagues whom they joined me yesterday in joining the family to pass words of condolences to the family and the residents of Kipchimchim. To that point, I say thank you and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Philip. And thank you, honorable members, for sharing and condoling with the family of the entire Kipchimchim ward. Clerk will move to the next order.
Order number 3, order number 3, messages.
Next.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next.
Order number 5, papers.
Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next.
Order number 7, statement.
Thank you. I think we'll, on the statements, we'll give an opportunity to Chair of the Committee on Revenue Collection to give us a brief status of the process so far. Welcome, Honorable Vincent.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And before I proceed, I would also like to pass a word of condolences to the people of Kipchimchim and also to our current member here, Honorable Bernard, Honorable Mutai, and also to the people of Kericho County for the loss of the great leader, that is Honorable Bernard Mutai, who served in the second and in the first and second assembly. I got to know about Honorable Mutai when I used to work for Tradecraft and Kenya Human Rights Commission, and there was a time when I came to this house before I was elected, and we needed to implement a project on agriculture in around 2016. And when I came here, I was referred to Honorable Bernard Mutai, who is surveyor, and I came to interact with him shortly, but I realized that he was indeed a great leader who was able and ready at any time to serve the people of Kericho County. What I can say is during that time, in my short interaction, he was able to receive us that time, and the project that we were supposed to implement, he became a gate pass, and the project that benefited so many farmers within Kericho County at that time. So I do pass my message of condolence. And again, there is something that maybe Honorable Hezron mentioned here on mental health. I know most of our colleagues, because we will not serve here forever as members of county assemblies. Some of us maybe will be elected, some might not be re-elected in future. But we need to also remember, even beginning with the councillors, those who retired long time ago, because as leaders, we do really work hard day and night to serve the people. But sometimes, you see, we are also employees employed by the people. But you see, nobody would like to talk about the welfare of a political leader. The welfare of a political leader is only left to God. But I think it's time to petition even the government so that those who have retired and have served this country and the people should be considered, especially in even getting pension, especially those who have gone for 2 terms like Bernard Mutai, should actually be considered to benefit even for pension, so that while they are still at home, they are still considered as leaders. In fact, when you lose, doesn't mean that you don't continue serving. They still continue serving, and even people depend on them on so many issues. Again, we are human beings, and we have things to run. We have families, we have children to keep. So that's why I'm saying maybe it's time to actually talk to the government to consider those who have served before, even the councillors, so that they can also live a meaningful life. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, regarding the chairman is not in, so I'm standing in for the chairman of ADO committee as a member, and I would like to report to this house that the ADO committee on revenue is going on very well, and we have made some progress, because we know this county depend on the own source revenue so that we can make development. And this house took a noble idea to actually have this committee so that we can look into issues why we are not getting enough revenue. And so far, yesterday we had interrogations, and we thank this house for giving us opportunity yesterday to have the sittings here, and we did it successfully up to very late in the evening. The last time we left here was around 11 in the evening. And today we will also embark in the same process, and we will continue up to late in the evening, because we have several people lined up for interrogations. Actually, we thank you for the support, and we will also support the people of Kipchumbi, including our colleague, Honorable Mutai, so that we are able to send off our colleague decently. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this time to give a short brief. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Vincent Korir, for that update on the status of the ADO committee that has been ongoing on revenue collection. Before we end, I think just received an indication that Honorable Anthony is sitting on a chair that it belongs to whip. Maybe I direct the Sergeant at Arms to check on that. If that is in order, maybe he can be moved to the right position. Is he in the right position? Maybe you can report back. Okay, thank you so much for your cooperation, Honorable Anthony. I think there being no other business, the House stands adjourned until 2 p.m. today. Thank you.